So first thing that I will be doing is, imagining that this is a new IR. So this is a new tenant, right? For whatever your customer might be during the IR or for yourself. And so what I will be doing is, sorry about that. So what I'll be doing is, the first thing is I'll be enabling some of the services that we support. So LimaCharlie, right, kind of structured a little bit like AWS in that we have a ton of different services, a ton of different components that can interact together, so you can really build your pipeline, do things the way you like it. And so I'll start by enabling a whole bunch of things, and then as we go through this demo, you'll kind of see where those pop up, and where they come in. So I will start by enabling Sigma. So Sigma, open source project to kind of normalize queries. You probably know what this is. It includes a huge corpus of signatures, and there's a LimaCharlie backend, so we can generate from Sigma to LimaCharlie what we call the DNR rules. So that's the rules that get actioned at wire speed in LimaCharlie. So by subscribing to Sigma, I'm just enabling the full Sigma set onto my tenant. So that's a way that I can start getting some information if I'm just joining this, creating this new tenant. Maybe I'm going to be deploying in that company. That's a good way to start to get information about some of the common things that might be coming up. All of this is going to be really focused on Windows, just for simplicity of a demo. But you'll see on our website, LimaCharlie supports pretty much everything on the planet. So Linux distros, Mac, Chrome, a whole bunch of things. All right, so that was Sigma. The other one I'll enable is Soteria rules. So Soteria is an MSSP that have been on the platform for a really, really long time. And they build a really amazing rule set, several hundreds of rules. And they offer it kind of streamlined through LimaCharlie. So one click enables it on my entire organization. I'll just start getting the detection. So it's another good way to say, like, hey, I'm pushing all those rules right from the get-go. Everything, by the way, that I'm registering here, the cool thing is this is not something you're going to have to do with every new IR. It's really trivial to export your tenant to infrastructure as code into config files that you can then reuse. And so when we can have, we can even make an API call to create a new tenant, and then a different one to say, like, push our config, and that goes into LimaCharlie and configures everything the way you had it. So this is usually something you really have to do once. I will enable the dumper. We'll see later. So the dumper service allows me to go in and do full memory dumps and MFT dumps on the boxes. So that's super useful. I will go in and enable Yara. So I would like to be able to run Yara signatures on my hosts, either on one-off or at scale, or I'll get into all those details. So that'll be useful. I'll enable the responder service, which is going to give me the ability to do what we call the sweep, which is, go against a specific host in real time, list me all the things that are kind of interesting about that host, right? What's unsigned, what's talking over the network, like all that stuff, so that you don't have to, approach a host very manually every single time. You can just run some sweeps and get, the cliff notes. Next, I will install the net install service. So that's a service that will allow me to upgrade automatically a Windows box from the LimaCharlie EDR agent, and with one click, just upgrade it to LimaCharlie Net, which is going to apply, at runtime, microsegmentation. So it will start remoting all the full pipe through LimaCharlie Cloud, and we'll be able to put, policies to restrict access, detect stuff, generate PCAPs, all that good stuff. So we're going to be using that later. Almost done. PagerDuty, because we're going to show an example of, you might be in the middle of an IR, and you're monitoring something, and like you just get to the point of sanity where you think everything's good, but you create a couple of DNR rules, right? Those automated rules, looking for a couple of IOCs that that actor is using. And sometimes it's useful to say, like, we think we got them off the network, but if something happens, I don't want to just generate an alert, but I want this to directly go to my PagerDuty account so that somebody gets woken up and they can come in and do whatever they need to do. Finally, I will enable the Net API, which is going to give me access to LimaCharlie that I mentioned, microsegmentation, zero trust stuff.